teacher here in Birmingham, Alabama. And this is what brings me joy, is to share time with you, moving on the mat, as well as my other love is writing. So I like to try to incorporate those things as much as possible. And so as part of what I do, I like to theme my classes. And so something that's really been laying on my heart lately is this idea that it feels like we're always just sitting and waiting for something to happen, right? We're waiting for the next paycheck. We're waiting for this. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for so many things. And we get so caught up in that we forget just to be present where we are. So as we move through this practice tonight, I invite you just to stay right here and be with however you're feeling, whatever that is, and allow yourself to have whatever shows up with no judgment. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. I will let you know that I do have a blanket that I'm sitting on. We will do some things from knees. So if you have a blanket or even a soft, cushy pillow nearby that you could put down when we do things from knees, just grab that real quick. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes or have a soft gaze towards the floor. And we're just going to spend a few moments right here, just coming into this moment. You don't have to do anything special whatsoever. You've just got your eyes closed, and allow yourself just a couple of minutes to notice the sounds around you. Let's go ahead and turn some of that awareness inward. So let's just see how we're feeling in our physical body. Maybe lengthen through your spine just a little bit. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Just let the hands rest in the lap. Just see how you are. There are no wrong answers. Move some awareness to our breath. Just start to notice where it comes into your body. Maybe as you take the first couple of breaths with some awareness there, you feel the breath in the deep low belly, or maybe it feels like it's up in the heart and it doesn't feel like it's really moving a lot. That's fine. Just note where it is. Go ahead and let that breath deepen a little bit. So make the breath, the inhales and the exhales, go a little bit deeper, exhale a little bit deeper. If your mind starts to wander, just come back to the breath. And give yourself 2 more rounds, just like that. I think I have somebody that hasn't muted their microphone, so if you'll just check that for me real quick. And after you exhale that last deep breath out, you can flutter your eyes back open. We're going to move into table. So this is one of those times where if you had a blanket, it may feel really nice to unfold it, or maybe even a towel or a pillow. Unfold it and just let your knees come to it, just to give them a little bit more cushion. And as you make your way into this table, let's focus first on the length of the spine. So reach your crown away from you, reach the tailbone back. Stay strong through those arms. We'll take an inhale, reach the crown and the tailbone up towards the sky. Let it be nice and slow. And then exhale, let the chin round in towards the chest as the tailbone tucks in. Shoulder blades come apart. Just continue to move with your inhales and exhales. Take it nice and slow. Let's give ourselves one more complete round. So we're going to bring ourselves back to that long spine here in table. Take an inhale. And then exhale, let the hips go back towards the heels. And we're resting into child's pose. If it feels better in your body to let the knees go a little bit wider to give yourself some more space in between the thighs, do that. Rest in here, 2 breaths. Notice how the breath travels all the way up to the shoulder blades. Take an inhale. We're going to move back into that table. Leave that blanket there if you set it down. We're going to make sure that this left hand is right under the left shoulder and the knees are right under the hips. From here, take an inhale, send this right leg long behind you, and imagine that you're pressing into an imaginary wall. So flex that foot, be nice and strong. Check that right palm under the right shoulder. Inhale, we're going to lift this left arm out in front of us. Send your gaze towards that left thumb. Take an inhale. And then exhale, bring that elbow and that knee close together as you round in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round. So if it's too much to do leg and that arm, feel free to do one or the other. And give it one more breath. And after you round all the way in, reset that table. Take an inhale, send the left leg long behind you, flex through that foot, keep that leg engaged. And then we'll reach these right fingertips forward, gaze towards that right thumb. Inhale and exhale to round it in. Inhale to extend. Give it one more round. You can set everything back down once you finish. And then we're going to curl our toes, take a fresh breath, and exhale into down dog. So you can move in this down dog. You can pedal through the feet, connecting it to your breath. And if down dog feels like too much for you, stay in table. Just wiggle your hips a little bit. Whatever you need, give it to yourself right here. We'll give it 2 more breaths. All right, slow walk. Let's take a slow walk up to the top of our mats and we'll meet there in a forward fold. Keep a big bend in the knees. Let the torso just roll over the tops of your thighs. Head hangs heavy. Take an inhale halfway, finding a long spine. Reach that crown away. And then a super slow exhale. Release back down towards the mat. Inhale down low. And exhale, give yourself a slow rise, honoring that low back by keeping a bend in the knees. We'll come all the way up to stand and mountain. Give yourself a breath right here. So soften through those knees, find that connection with your feet to the mat. You can even rock back and forth on the mat just a little bit, feeling the connection with the balls of the feet and the heels. We're going to take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring the gaze back forward as the shoulders release down just a bit. Take an inhale. And then we're going to sit the booty back, find a chair. So you get to decide how deep it is. Hold it here one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, let yourself fold forward. Let everything go. We'll do that same little flow one more time. So here we go. Inhale halfway. Exhale, slow release back down towards the mat. Inhale down low. And exhale, take a slow rise. We'll meet in that mountain. Check in with yourself once you get there and give yourself a couple of breaths. Nice big inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. Exhale, settle the shoulders, bring the gaze back forward. Inhale, and exhale to sit it back to chair. So I'll give you some tips for chair. You can completely ignore them if you so choose. When I do chair, I like to think about if I were going to sit back in a swing, I'd swing my hips back just a bit. And then I'm going to tuck my tailbone in. It helps engage through the center of my body. Breathe here, 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale, give yourself a forward fold. So take just a moment in this forward fold, just sway side to side. You can clasp elbows or keep the hands near the floor. Just releasing where you can in the low back body. Head hangs heavy as well. And give it one more breath. Let's move from this forward fold back into down dog. And if table works better in your body, you can go there. If you feel like you're holding a lot of weight in your shoulders, Try bending your knees and sending your hips back just a bit. It'll take some of the pressure and weight out of the upper body. Let's move from down dog into a plank or a kneeling plank, your choice. And find that long spine. Inhale. And then give yourself a slow, controlled exhale as you lower all the way down to your mat. And once you get there, the tops of the feet can come to the mat. We're going to take our hands and make little Spider-Man hands with our fingertips about 6 inches away from our shoulders. Send the elbows up towards the sky. Nose is pointed down towards the mat. Release through the back low body, so through the booty. Take an inhale, reach with the crown of your head, pressing into the fingers, and then exhale to lower back down. Move with your breath. Do that 3 more times. Last one. And after you lower that last time, you can bring those palms back under the shoulders. We're going to press back into our table. So knees are under hips. And once you get into that table, walk your hands forward towards the top of your mat. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Let the upper body start to release down towards the mat. This is puppy pose. Maybe the brow comes to the mat, maybe not. Tuck your tailbone in here just a little bit and notice the engagement through the core, but also notice the stretch in the low back. Last breath. Inhale, lift the upper body and reset those hands under the shoulders. So we are going to do another kneeling flow. I'm going to get my blanket back out. All right, once you come back into that table, you're going to take this right leg and you're going to extend it long to the right where the sole of the foot is on the floor. So see if the hips are square here. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly let that right hip dip in towards center. You're going to get a really juicy stretch to the inside of that right leg. Send the crown of the head long in front. And breathe one more breath. Stay strong through this left arm. We're going to take an inhale, reach this right arm up towards the sky. The hips rotate, the heart opens. And exhale, bring this right hand, let it thread through this left arm. And then use a fresh breath to open all the way back up. So you decide the range of motion, you decide how deep it goes. Just stay with the breath. And when you take your next inhale, hold it open. Notice if you're holding your breath. Slowly lower this right hand. Bring that right knee back in under the right hip. And we'll move to the other side. So this left leg goes out to the left. Keep those hips square. Take a fresh inhale. And then exhale, let that left hip sink down in towards center. Notice if you're gritting your teeth. Right hand right under the right shoulder. Here we go. Nice big inhale. Open the hips. Lift that left arm up towards the sky. And then use an exhale. Let it thread through. Continue with your breath. Last full round. Use your next inhale. Hold it open and breathe. Notice how the breath fills up the belly and the heart. Beautiful. We'll reset that table. And you can curl your toes, lift your hips. We'll move back into down dog. If you've got a blanket on the mat, you can move it. Our next flow is a standing flow, so feel free to move anything out of the way. So we're going to move from this down dog into warrior two with the left foot forward. I'm going to cue it, but if there's a different way you want to get there, you do you. Take an inhale, lift this left leg up towards the sky, and then bring knee to nose. Let that left foot step through. Right heel comes in towards center, and then we'll use a fresh breath to rise up and settle in to warrior two. So things to check in this warrior two. We want to make sure this right shoulder is back and the shoulders are right over the hips. Hips are open. Gaze towards the middle finger of the front hand. Take an inhale. And then exhale, move into your reverse warrior. So the right hand comes to the right thigh, left fingertips reach over to the right. Take an inhale here. And we're going to exhale and move all the way into side angle. So that left elbow comes down to the left knee. Keep it strong there. Don't dip your weight. And then reach those right fingertips over to the left. Keep the heart open if you can. Inhale. You can spin down, bringing that right hand down to the mat, right ball of the foot. We're just going to reset ourselves back into down dog. Notice if you held your breath at all during that last sequence. Come back to the breath. Take an inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. And then bring knee to nose, step that right foot through. Left heel in towards center. And then we'll take a fresh inhale to rise up. Make our way into that warrior two. Hips and heart open. Inhale, and then make your way into reverse warrior. Last breath. Inhale here, and then exhale to make your way over into your side angle, strong through that right arm, reaching the left fingertips away. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. All right, inhale. And then lower the hands down, spit onto the ball of that left foot. We'll make our way back into that down dog. And from here, give yourself a nice big inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Let's move from down dog into plank or kneeling plank, your choice. Long spine. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, lower all the way back down to the mat with control. Tops of the feet come to the mat. Take your palms and move them back just a little bit, right to where your palm is even with the bottom of your rib cage. Take an inhale, and then exhale, breathe into that belly, lift through the crown of the head. So you're really not holding any weight in your hands. You're using your low back strength here. Breathe one more breath. Lower the head, bring the hands back under the shoulders, and then you can press back. Give yourself a child's pose. Rest in 3 breaths. Slowly, slowly, we'll rise up and reset our table. And then we'll curl toes, lift hips, make our way back into down dog. Give it one more breath. Slowly walk your hands and feet towards each other. We'll meet in the center of the mat in a forward fold. Head hangs heavy. Let's inhale, halfway long spine. Exhale, slow release back down towards the mat. Inhale, down low. Exhale, slow rise. We'll meet in that mountain. You can keep the eyes closed. Give yourself 2 breaths right here. Reach through the crown of the head. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up over the head. And then exhale, gaze comes forward as the hands come together in prayer. Let them come down in front of your heart. Give yourself a breath. All right. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. And then exhale, gaze comes back forward, shoulders relax. I'm going to face you for just a minute. Okay, from here, I want you to take your left hand and put it on your left hip. And you've got this right arm up over the head, but the shoulder is relaxed. So now take an inhale and move your body weight over to that left leg. And then press your left foot into the floor, reach through the crown of your head, get light on those right toes. So our balance pose is to lift the right foot forward, flex it just like we did when we were on hands and knees, and then reach that right hand forward too. So you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can bend that left knee into your chair. This is called an ipsilateral chair. In other words, you're using both on the same side as you lift. And so we'll come out with control. So take an inhale. Start to straighten through that left leg as the right arm reaches back up towards the sky and the right foot lowers. Bring the hands back to your heart. Give yourself a breath. Beautiful. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. Exhale, settle the shoulders, gaze back forward, and this time the right hand is going to come down to the right hip. Take an inhale. Move your body weight over to the right. Get long through that right side of your body, reaching all the way up to the crown of the head. Get light on those left toes. And then you can just keep that left foot flexed as you bring it out in front just a bit. Lower that left hand just a little bit, more even with the shoulders. You can stay there, or if you want a little bit more, bend that right knee. Inhale, use your strength, straighten through that right leg, reach that left hand up as the left leg lowers. Center yourself, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Give yourself a breath. I read this great quote that says, "Be where your feet are." So just check in with yourself, 2 more breaths right here. All right. So we're in the center of our mats, facing towards the top. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. And then we'll exhale to find that forward fold. Move back into your down dog, nice and slow. And 1 more breath. Lower your feet down, or not your feet, excuse me. Lower your knees down to the mat. Tops of the feet come to the mat. And then keep your hands right where they are. We're going to slowly let the pelvis start to come forward and make ourselves move into that up dog. Release through the glutes. If this doesn't work in your body, go back to cobra. That's what we've done the last 2 rounds. Release through the glutes here. The last breath. Slowly start to send the hips back. And as you make your way into table, swing your feet over to one side so you can come down onto your seat. And once you get into that seat, we're going to let the inside of our feet come together. You can call this butterfly or cobbler's pose. And let that diamond shape inside of the legs be as big as feels good in your body. Let your hands come down somewhere to the low leg. It can be ankles or shins. And then reach the knees up towards your shoulders. Find some length through the spine. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, use your strength in your legs to press your knees down towards the mat. Feel that stretch show up in the back of the neck. Bow chin to chest. Stay here 3 breaths. Last one. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the tension in the body. Bring your head back forward. So now you can send your legs towards the top of your mat, and we're going to roll down onto our backs. Take just a moment here before we continue to bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Knees can always stay outside of the ribs if that's more comfortable. Just sway side to side here for a moment. All right. Keep that right knee up towards your chest. Let the fingers interlace right below your kneecap. And then send this left leg long towards the sky. Keep that left foot flexed. Take an inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower that left leg all the way down your mat with control. Releasing fully as the exhale lets go completely. Now keep that right hand up by the right knee. Take that left hand and bring it down somewhere near that right ankle. Let the knee go out just a little bit to the right. So this is called rocking the baby. So your lower leg is the baby. So we're going to inhale, bring the heel in closer towards center. Knee comes in closer towards center. And then exhale to let that right knee open fully to the right. So use your breath moving in and out, releasing any tension that may have shown up in your body. And give it one more breath. After that last one, bring that knee closer to the ribs again, and then interlace those fingers again, right below the kneecap. Flex that left leg, take an inhale, and slowly start to lift the leg with control. And then you can change sides. So the right leg extends long, fingertips wrap around right below the base of that left knee. Inhale. And then exhale, slow releasing that right leg down towards the mat. Release fully once you get there. Left hand stays up by the left knee, right hand reaches down somewhere for that shin or that ankle. And then let that left knee fall out just a little bit more to the left. Here's your baby. All right, inhale, bring the knee in towards center. And exhale to let it release to the left. Your breath, just a few more rounds. Notice any tension that you might have built up in the shoulders and in the jaw. Breathe through one more round. And bring that knee a little bit more towards center. Interlace those fingers right below that left kneecap. Flex that right foot. Take an inhale. And then exhale to lift that right leg all the way back up towards the sky. And then you can release hands, bend both knees. Let the outside edges of your feet come to the outside edges of your mat. Hands can just rest somewhere on the belly. And you can just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Stay with the breath if you can. And give yourself a couple more breaths of this. And then give yourself a full body scan. See what your body might need that I didn't offer. And give yourself 6 or 7 breaths for whatever it is that may feel good right here. As you finish those last few breaths, you can go ahead and make your way into whatever Shavasana will look like for you today. So feel free just to lay on your mat. You could even move and send your legs up a wall near you. If you've got a couch or a coffee table nearby, you could even swing your legs up onto the coffee table where the knees are in line with the hips on the floor. And then just let the legs relax. It's great for the psoas. So find your spot. And then, just like we did earlier, give yourself a nice big inhale through the nose, let it sigh out through the mouth, and rest. You can slowly start to bring some awareness back into this space that we have created together. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch. Point the fingers, point the toes. You can slowly roll on to one side or the other and make your way back up into a comfortable seat. And in this seat, whether you want to write on your computer or if you have a pen and a piece of paper handy, I'm going to read our quote for the evening and then let that be our prompt for any writing that you might want to do. There are no right or wrong answers when you write. This is strictly for you. But our quote tonight is from Eckhart Tolle, and he says, "Give up waiting as a state of mind. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being." So, as you think through what you may want to write about, I would just ask, what is it that you enjoy about just being? I'll give you just a few minutes to write about that. What is it that you just enjoy being? So I'll give you about 15 more seconds. Just wrap up any last final thoughts. So we will, at this point, if anyone wants to share, feel